I was at the circuit gym and I got off a piece of equipment and there was like a $50 bruise on my upper leg. And my girlfriend said to me, "Why do you have that bruise on your thigh?" And I said, "I have no clue." I went home, I observed it, and it got larger. So I went to my physician assistant and she took a look at it and she said, "I'm going to do blood work." She compared the blood work and said, "No, there's something going on here. I want you to go over to the hospital." And there she sent me and they started to do additional tests. I was actually at the hospital for a week. My primary physician was involved helping, and he called in a hematologist because they wanted to rule out the possibility of maybe a cancer. And they did all these tests on me, all kinds of things. But toward the end of my stay, my doctor said, the hematologist said to me, "I think we need to look at doing a bone marrow aspiration because it's what's going to give me the true information." When I was in the hospital, my oncologist, hematologist told me that I had multiple myeloma, a very rare type of cancer. The cure rate was very poor, and that my best situation was the fact that it was an early diagnosis. When I was referred to the City of Hope and I learned about their extremely competent and high rating as a cancer center and a research center, I was very pleased and comfortable with being with them. In fact, their warmth and the way they approached everything was very, very inspiring. So I began to relax a little bit and feel better about maybe things were going to be okay. When I was shared the treatment path ideas of what would be a good option for me, I trusted them. And so the clinical trial presented to me that included TomoTherapy really made me think about the fact that they're on the cutting edge of things. They weren't just sitting back, they were looking at options in a way that there are more appropriate ways to approach this disease, and they were not going to just stagnate one approach. So I felt like they were really taking a look at me as an individual. My experience was like a Star Wars adventure. The beamlets of radiation sought out and destroyed my cancer cells in my bone marrow, and this was delightful because TomoTherapy won. Each day for 5 days, I received treatment, and in order to occupy my mind, I creatively thought about things, and I rode on a bobsled from my childhood, and I was able to sing Peter, Paul, and Mary songs to the staff because they were so kind enough to put a baby monitor in the room so I could communicate with them. And all these things helped me because this was my approach to TomoTherapy. I felt very fortunate because I did not have the traditional side effects that you hear about with radiation treatment, and I had a little dry, itchy skin, but TomoTherapy worked very well for me, and it was a painless procedure. After my treatment, I was inspired to help others, and I became a patient mentor and ambassador for the City of Hope. I also worked with my son Chad with the Firefighter Cancer Support Network. I wanted to help cancer patients know that they had options like TomoTherapy. I am actually very active. I learned to pace myself, and I do many things that I truly love to do. And the one thing that my survival has helped me to understand is I need to continue to live my life with a capital L and live it fully. And one of the things that I continue to do is, or several of the things I continue to do, is read books, do artwork, gardening, and traveling. And in my travels, I got to go to France and stay in beautiful hotels and see all kinds of wonderful places like Paris and Monte Carlo. I went over to the University of York, where my daughter went to college, and I got to experience a whole different aspect of living, because I no longer was not doing, I was doing things intentionally. TomoTherapy is a cutting-edge technology that was designed by people with great minds and warm hearts. I feel lucky that I had a chance to participate in a clinical trial at the City of Hope. 10 years ago, a talented team of professionals effectively applied TomoTherapy for me in a way that had never been done before. I am appreciative of that. It's been 10 years since my treatment, and I live each day to its fullest.